And I wanted to show a technique for 3D printing where you use layers to control the density or the fill, number of shells, etc., on different levels to achieve some different effects. So what I have here are what I call the motor tails for the Stealth 04, and they're pretty long, and you wouldn't want to print these flat. So what I do is I set up 3 different regions. So I'm using Simplify 3D, which is like an old program, but I'm sure you can do this in any slicer. But what you want to do is you want to think about how you want to print each region of the part. For example, the bottom part where I have this sort of ring, I want that to be solid, but in the middle here I don't want to have any fill because I want it to be completely lightweight, so I only want to have one shell here. And towards the top I want it to be more solid so that when the motor tail drags on the ground or asphalt or concrete, it has at least a couple, I don't know, millimeters of solid, 100% solid infill. So basically we want to be able to vary the infill and how it works. So let me just kind of go through the process. So I have 3 different processes set up in Simplified 3D, and if I look at the first one, they have a tab that has control. They call it layer modifications, but it allows you to control the printing from a preset height and stop at a preset another height. So what I have from 0 to 2 millimeters is basically, let me just go in here. So infill. So what I do on this thing, I do solid layers. So basically it's going to be solid, 100% solid for the first 2 millimeters. And I have just one outline perimeter, one shell. And then once I get to the second region, this one starts at 2 millimeters and goes to 57 millimeters. So this is sort of the middle. And what I wanted to show is that I start off with 4 solid layers on the bottom and then no layers on the top. So it basically leaves the top open. And then once it gets beyond the 4 layers, I have one shell. So it's just going to print one shell, and the infill is 0%. So from 2 to 57 millimeters is going to be hollow. And then the third region, the tip where I want it to be really solid, I start printing at 57 millimeters. And what am I doing? Yes, I basically just have 3 shells and two solid layers. So let's take a look at what this looks like on the final print. So if I go into prepare to print, I'm going to select all of my processes, and then it'll render it. So now I'm looking at the render. So at the tip here, it's solid, and then it opens up right there into just shells. So it's like shells on the inside. Looks like it's 2 shells on the inside and outside, and then it goes. It does its thing. I'm not 100% in control of it, and then it goes to just one shell, so it's completely hollow until it gets down to the next region that I have set, and this is pretty much solid. And there's a hollowness right here, hollow right here. So it's and then the last part of it is solid going down for the ring on the foot. So that's sort of an example of how you can control the infill by using different regions of when you 3D print. So in Simplify 3D, it's called processes, and you control the printing height by using the Advanced tab to select where to start printing and when to stop printing. Yeah, so hope that helps, and yeah, good luck with your Stealth.